here at the custom shop in Flanagan, Illinois, and we're going to flame a 1964 Galaxie 500 with a white base and red to orange to yellow flames with a blue abstract pinstriped edge with three-dimensional shadowing and a airbrushed factory chrome to replicate the original chrome. On a car like this, we'll spray all the panels off, then reassemble the car, line all the panels all back up, so that way when I lay the flames out, everything is, lining up and the flames are lining up and you're not having panels that are mismatched later. On a flame job like this, I use a product called Transfer Right, which is basically it's a paper mask, which I lay out over the entire car, covering virtually every section that's going to have any kind of paint within 12 inches of it. That way you have a good mask area. I'll lay the Transfer Right out as smooth as possible, but with the contours of the body, sometimes you get a little wrinkle here or there, but that's okay because it'll work around the flame work. I'll take the drawing that I originally came up with the customer, tape it up to the wall so it gives me good reference. Then I'll take a standard pencil, basically trace the paint scheme of the flames onto the car. Everything really kind of depends on the lines and the angles of the body of the car. Each flame job is definitely different. And I also lay out one side and then I'll go over and use basically pinpoint areas from side to side, so that way I know where the cup and the lick of the flame is supposed to start and stop on the next side. And I try to make the flame job very consistent, but definitely not a mimic from right to left. There's really no reason for the flames to be identical from side to side. I don't like them to look like stickers. I like them to have a nice flow. I like them to work with the body lines of the car, and that's the best way to do that. The transfer paper is actually a sticky back paper that actually you use like a squeegee applicator and stick it down to the car, and that actually becomes your mask. So that way when you draw your pencil line of the flame out, I'll come back with an X-Acto knife and actually basically use it like a pinstriping brush, and I'll actually cut the edges of the flames out, and then I'll pull the negative of the flame that I want to paint out and leave the positive of the base color still covered, so that way it exposes only the area that I want the paint to actually lay onto. Next we'll decide what colors that we're going to go on with, obviously whichever the customer chooses. This particular car has Viper Red on the nose, and then a custom yellow mix on the end of the flames, and then there's Orange Pearl that actually goes in between the two colors. And I'll actually blend the yellow on the end of the flame and fade it out kind of back into the white. I'll go back and spray the red, try to fade that back into the white a little bit. And then I'll take the orange and actually create the illusion of there being multiple colors of yellow, orange, and red that actually create the flame, when actually there's only three colors. It's just one color is kind of morphing and blending into the next color that creates a transparency of one color being able to be seen through the other color. The shadowing and the pinstriping that we do on the flames is actually what really makes the flame job really pop. And with this car having a white base, putting a nice drop shadow, I typically try to drop down about 3/8 to a half an inch with the shadow. Creates a nice dimension of dropping the shadow down on the car and the flames actually standing above it. And then a pinstriped edge, which actually gives you your hard lined edge away from your shadow and your body color. It's amazing what the 30 seconds of shadowing and pinstriping can do for a nice flame job. The trick of pinstriping is really the ability to draw a brush and create a nice edge without having too much thickness variation and that kind of thing. I prefer, like on this type of a pinstripe, I keep the brush very dry and create more of a dry brush look, and it also helps with kind of the wispiness of the abstract effect. Basically, all we have left is I'm going to pinstripe and shadow. Well, obviously I'm going to shadow first and then pinstripe the rest of this car, wipe it down, and then put some clear coat on it, and it'll look great.